Robbie knows everything. Tad knows everyone. Dingo is here too. They're here to make love to you. Your ears at least. This is the Dingo Weekly. This is the Dingo Weekly. This is the Dingo Weekly. This is the Dingo Weekly.
And there we are. Welcome to the Dingo Weekly podcast. I am your co-host, Robbie, with my two wonderful friends, Tad and Dingo.
Greetings.
And greetings. Hello. And we have a special guest again this week. Back-to-back guests. We're having a lot of guests recently.
Things are happening.
Things are happening. The word's getting out. We're blowing up. And people, they're just lining up, begging to get on our. No, we begged him, honestly. But no, we have our good friend Jordan is with us this week. Hey, Jordan.
Hi, how's it going?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good to have you.
It's great to have you. Wonderful.
Great.
Yeah, we've just great. Oh yeah, Dingo's here too. Hey.
Yeah, I'm here.
Present.
Are you?
I'm in and out.
Are any of us here, really?
That's a good question.
I don't know. Expand on that, Jordan. Thank you.
You know?
It's a deep question.
Ooh, we want to go there.
Are any of us here, really?
I didn't know if we are going to do that episode. I have a whole topic I want to go off on like simulations and the universe. And I think we're waiting on our other friend. I think I want to call him the Australian, but yeah, this could be a simulation. Who knows what's real?
Do you think it is?
No,
No.
I have my own theories. I don't know if I want to get too into it.
Like what?
All right, well, now we're already talking about it. So you know what? This is becoming.
Get into it.
He might get mad at me because he's been getting really excited. Our other friend he wants to get into Alien. So this is like Alien adjacent.
Not really.
So maybe I'm not totally stealing his thunder, but
This is separate.
Oh, okay. I'm kind of in a. You can't really see on the. Well, I guess the podcast won't record it. Oh, it's upside down. I have a freaking
that's
tattoo. Cool. Aliens. I'm kind of into that too.
Nice.
Without
going too much into aliens, because I want to save it for him, because he's just been waiting a month to get a microphone or something. I don't know, or he's moving. It doesn't matter. But my theory is that I think the whole universe is fractals. Okay, I think that there are macro beings. I think there are micro beings. I think we're somewhere in there. It depends on point of reference. So we're someone's macro being. We're also someone's micro being. Like we are just little atoms, like subatomic atoms within the left nut of a macro being's sperm cell. Like we're so tiny in the grand scheme of things. And I see this because I look at our solar system, and it honestly, it looks like an atom going through space with electrons going around the sun, and that sun is moving like an atom in space. If you look at it on a big scale, I can just imagine it.
You imagine a testicle,
and it's a little too hard to really conceptualize, but that's my running theory.
I imagine a giant testicle.
We're in the left nut of a macro being.
Do you remember the end of Men in Black?
I was gonna say this is the end of Men in Black. Yeah.
When it like zooms out and the universe is like inside of a marble.
Yeah.
And there's like giant aliens playing with the marbles.
Exactly.
And then in that movie, there was a galaxy in the little marble that was in Orion's belt.
So you saw Men in Black and you based all of existence off of it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe that's what happened. Is I saw Men in Black as a child, and I was like, yeah, that's how the world works.
I'm pretty sure that's a true story, Men in Black.
Based on a true story.
It's based on a true story.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Will Smith slapped the shit out of an alien in that too.
That's also true.
He did.
He's known to slap the shit out of people or things, beings. I don't know. I see it. I see the solar system as an atom. The sun is the nucleus.
In an atom, the things orbiting the nucleus are like uniform in size, are they not? So in the solar system, you have the difference between Jupiter and Mercury. It's like
I mean,
a
don't
different
poke holes
thing.
into my theory here now.
Go ahead, poke holes in it.
It's a huge hole.
Wow, shit. Now, I guess I didn't think this through hard enough.
You didn't.
I don't know. I'm not.
No, it's fair. That's a good point. That's a good
I
point.
didn't go to. I didn't go to school. Okay, I don't know. I may be totally wrong.
I skipped school too.
So
I don't. I did go to school, and that sounds accurate. I don't know. I don't know how it all works, and like, also it's relativity.
is it?
Like when we're looking at an actual atom, when you shrink down to that size, are all the electrons perfectly identical? I maybe, probably. That's what they say. I don't know though, but like the size of planets,
Just watch Ant-Man.
is it that much different when you're comparing it to the scale of an actual atom? I don't know. I don't know how scale works at that level. Also, then you got to look at, okay, there's like moons on the planets, so like now electrons have their own electrons. So yeah, it's quirky, but like it's a scale thing. Maybe it's just like we're so in it that we're seeing it from a bigger scale.
Yeah, you know what? I think you were right actually all along. You were 100% right. We shouldn't talk about this.
Yeah, I don't want to get too into this.
You were right. This is so boring.
All right, wow, okay, the Australian's gonna be pissed.
I'm going to miss that episode too. Jesus Christ.
That's my theory. I think macro beings, micro beings.
I liked it when it was just a giant nut floating around in space.
Yeah, we're in some nut sauce.
I think we're all just lumps of shit that just happened.
I mean, we could be in the colon. I don't know where we are.
Organic lumps of shit that just happened to...
I thought, yeah.
Whatever. We might not even be in a dude. We could be in Iraq. I don't know. Or Afghanistan.
Jordan grew up with exotic pets.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a better topic.
Yeah.
Let's just awkwardly pivot
Okay.
from the universe to exotic pets.
It's not awkward. I'm pulling a hard pivot here.
It's a hard pivot.
So monkeys are a lot like atoms in the solar system, really. If
Oh
you
my
think
God.
about it. They swing around the nucleus of their habitat, swinging around on ropes, tree to tree, whatever you give them, really. So
I love it.
it's a lot like what an electron does or what a planet might do.
I'm not going to make it.
So you had monkeys.
Yeah, I did. I grew up with monkeys in like middle of nowhere, Louisiana. And my parents, the situation was very much like Joe Exotic, very very much the same kind of thing.
Do you know him?
No, but my parents were involved in the exotic animal community, so I met other people like him. And what I also learned is, in my experience, at least, the people that have these animals are the worst type of people to have these animals. It's the only people who want to get these animals are Joe Exotic types, and I did not see an exception growing up in the exotic animal community. Really, it's a lot of dysfunctional drug users type of thing.
I noticed a general lack of teeth.
Yeah, there's some, and you might even see I have all my teeth, but I need braces, and I'm 30, I never got them, and I think that's because
No, I don't mean like that. I mean like a picket fence after a hurricane kind of teeth.
oh yeah.
Yeah, because of the drug use you were just about to get into. The Dingo really interrupted
Yes,
you
there
about.
was no, he was totally fine. No, there's a lot of drug use, a lot of like smoking stimulants type of thing, a lot of
You got something to say, Dingo? What's up?
Why? It's not about you.
Dingo's surly tonight, huh?
Yeah, right?
what it is like if you've ever interacted with someone who's big into meth,
I have, yes.
their whole thing is making big plans, and exotic animals are just a part of that. And to where they're like, we're gonna make like a little zoo at our house, we're gonna do this and that, and then it ends up being just like a rundown house with monkeys running around because those people don't do the things they say they're gonna do. It's not gonna be like a zoo at your house. It's gonna be like a rundown junkyard that has a monkey in it. kind of thing.
I mean, honestly, a house full of monkeys still sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, but I want to be clear. It's not like a normal house. These houses that have monkey, including mine, including the one I grew up in. It's not like Malcolm in the Middle or Seventh Heaven or something. It's like a hoarder. These are hoarder houses, all of them.
Oh,
They're like junkyards, and they have monkeys too. And you don't ever see them like separate. It's always like, you familiar with the story of Travis the chimp? He ripped the girl's face off.
Yeah.
Same thing. A lot of drugs involved.
I will say I've always
it's
wanted a pet monkey. I don't know why. I've just like, maybe I've seen like Grandma's Boy, and like that monkey just seems like I want to chill with it. You seem cool. Get me a beer, like hang out with my monkey friend. Is it anything like that at all? Or are these just like, you don't want to touch these monkeys?
Did I live with the trained chimpanzee from Grandma's Boy? Is that what you're asking me?
Well, obviously not that chimpanzee, but like, are they all just like huge dicks and you don't want to get near them, or are any of them cool? Like,
no,
or any of them like people like chill, like, oh hey, what's up, monkey?
They are off and on. I mean, they're they're animals, and it's not that they're just like mean as a rule. It's not. They have giant nuts, and their penises are huge.
Are they?
And I tell you.
All right, now we're talking. Giant nuts, huge dicks. God, there's a theme here tonight.
And what's cool is that they keep trying to peel their penis like a banana, and they don't have to.
They peel their penis?
No, no, and they don't. And their penis isn't even really visible on them when they're running around. Their balls are, though. They have like small.
Same.
I think most other mammals besides that, we're like the only one that has like the dick to ball size ratio that we have. I think all the other ones are like really big balls and then like micro penises, right?
Yeah,
like,
and that's definitely
except maybe
for
dogs,
us.
if you count what's in the little pocket, and then
They're
horses
growers, not
too.
showers.
Yeah, we don't judge.
Horses too.
What kind of monkeys did you have?
They were Java macaque monkeys. And I know you don't really have a video element here to where you could bring up a picture or whatever, but they were macaques, or if you watch Wild Boys with Chris Pontius and Steve-O, macaques.
Jamie, pull up macaque.
That's what they would call them. Little macaque.
And you would you ever touch macaques?
Jamie, pull up gay sex for me. Go ahead and pull that up. They're macaque monkeys, so they look like they look like little old men kind of thing, and their height, they're like a foot tall, they're pretty small little creatures. So it wasn't like a chimp. It wasn't like Congo.
Like the little monkey from Friends, right? Is that the same kind of monkey?
Or Animal Practice?
I think his name is Maurice.
Something like that.
And that's a capuchin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is a related animal, but they're
About the same size, though?
about the same size, yeah. The capuchins are like dumber and more animal-like. These are animals that my parents and other exotic animal people specifically got because they're known as being like intelligent, and
Because they wanted to make the 12-inch macaque jokes.
yeah.
Yeah, I hear you should tug on macaque because then it would get upset and spit on you.
That's yeah.
Wah, wah. These jokes are not landing.
I want to be clear that it's I want to be clear that it's not that it's not that I don't think that was funny. It's that it's not that I don't think that was funny.
No,
It's that
I don't
was
want the
trying
pity.
to think of my like spin-off riff to keep that going and couldn't fucking think of one.
This is all
And so it
staying
just
in.
was an awkward.
I'll give you
silence.
you time. I'll cut out the pause. Go for it.
No,
Go for it.
no,
Just kidding.
No, keep
no,
all
we're
of
good.
it.
We're good. I think you
So-
nailed it. You tug on macaque, it'll spit in your eye. I don't know if you said in your eye, but
No, but that was a nice addition.
Yeah, you made it better. There
have
go.
you cummed in someone's eye before? And how did they react if you did? Because I have, and there's been mixed reactions, and it might be because of like what I ate that week or whatever. I don't know.
I think it
Because
generally burns.
There's one person
always.
who acted like it was like sulfuric acid and was like, They look like that guy in RoboCop that gets run over. You know what I'm talking
You
about?
look like a guy.
I was thinking of Newman in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Wow, what a segue.
To Newman?
And then other people have been like, or one other person, not other people. There's only two people, and the other person was like, "Oh yeah, that's fine." You know, it was like
we're
water.
talking
to them.
about
So
monkeys.
maybe it was what I ate. This, well, you know, it ties into the monkeys.
What'd you
I guess.
eat?
Sulfuric acid. Didn't you listen?
That, see, I don't know. I wasn't keeping track of my diet at the time.
Just
Yeah.
drinking straight sulfuric acid.
I wasn't keeping track of my diet at the time, so
Fair.
It's fine.
really don't know. You know what that is, or if that's even real. Maybe the person who acted like it was burning them was some kind of cum drama queen. I don't know.
You know, next time it happens, you'll be more cognizant of what you just last ate. You know, be like, you'll think about it. It's probably your first thought, I'm sure.
Well, let's just get them on the pod and we can find out.
I haven't. I feel like I grew past. Yeah,
That's what we need. We got to hash this out.
That would be beautiful. I feel like at some point I aged past the facial. It was like it was glamorous because you know, I'm 31, so like I.
Well, bring her out. We have her actually.
All right, and Susan, we'd like to really hear your experience here. Go ahead.
We lost her.
No. Yeah, no. She's we lost her. Sorry. Okay, never mind. But yeah, wow. Facials and monkeys. Oh my.
Yeah, and I just thought of the facial thing as like an aside, but yeah, the monkeys. It was a weird thing because it is, you know, because I did go to like a public school and live like a mostly normal life outside of that, and then you have like your friends over, who, you know, they are normal kids with like normal lives, and they come over, and then there's just like monkeys at your house, and so it was a weird thing. And in high school, I spent a lot of time like I would like stay at other people's houses for like weeks at a time.
Oh yeah.
Is that just to get away?
Yeah, not to be like a sad sack about it or whatever, but yeah, as I got older, when I was like they got the monkeys whenever I was 9, and then it was whatever, it was like something I barely even noticed as weird. And then as I got older and became more a part of like peer groups, and like as I became more aware of and cared more what other people thought, really, I started to grow very uncomfortable with it, and I stopped having like people. So like throughout high school, I was very much staying at friends' houses for like weeks at a time and shit, just trying to like kind of get away from the scene where there's monkeys, and I guess have some kind of normalcy. But I think that was probably pointless, and that I could have gained a lot by just embracing the weirdness of it and not being so uncomfortable about it, really.
Did the monkeys
But,
miss you
you
when
know.
you got home?
I mean, it's not normal per se.
What was that about the monkeys?
Did they miss you when you got home? Like a dog would miss someone if you were
Oh.
gone for a while. Would they like freak out and be like, "Oh my god, Jordan's back"?
Hey, Jordan.
No, they do show affection, but I never really, because I grew up it wasn't just like, oh, we just have monkeys. So that's another thing with these exotic animal houses. I mumbled a little bit there. That's another thing with these exotic animal houses, is that it's not like they just have monkeys. They also are gonna have like 5 or 6 dogs. They're gonna have like 10 cats. They're gonna have all kinds of shit. We had a squirrel that fell out of a tree as a baby, and we kept it and raised it. We had a rabbit. We had doves, and then we had a bunch of dogs and cats. And so I'm familiar with how normal animals act as well. And they did not act like a dog acts when you come back. No, it was the
Can you give us the full rundown of the actual cast of animals you're working with here?
what was that? Do you want the full list? I think I gave it to you. I don't know.
Yeah, were you not listening? He just listed like so many animals.
No, that came out like 30 seconds. I'm really lagging.
Oh God.
So it was like 2 normal dogs, and a bunch of Chihuahuas and Yorkies that my family was trying to breed, and then a bunch of bull mastiff dogs they were trying to breed. That's these exotic animals. They're into all the animals. It's not like Tiger King. I don't remember if they talked about it in the documentary or not, but I bet anything that dude had a bunch of dogs and cats and shit too, and probably like he probably also had like an old TV. I bet everyone that has exotic animals has old TVs, like you remember the big screen TVs that are like dents in the back, like before flat screens,
Yeah, like
the
the
big screen projector TVs.
reverse projection.
Yeah. That's a staple.
So when did your parents first get into exotic animal collecting? Is it collecting? What do you call it?
I guess it was rearing. To them,
Rearing?
it
Oh,
was. I mean, to
you
them,
know
it
about
was.
rearing.
Yeah, they were rearing macaque. To them, it was like.
There
To
you
them, it was
go.
like pets. I guess I don't know. I
But
think.
has it been like since your childhood, since you first remember, like you always had exotic animals in the house, or do you recall when they first kind of got into it?
God, you don't listen. He said it was when he was like 9. Pay attention.
Is that what you said? No, I don't listen. Sorry.
Yeah, so I grew up with just like my mom, and we would float around, and she had it was like me and my mom, and she would float around, and she had a lot of boyfriends and stuff. And then when I was like 7, she met one guy that was like 10 years older than her. So um, at 12 years old, so she was like 27 or something. Because my mom had me pretty young, and he was 38 or 39. And they ended up really hitting it off and then getting married for like 10 years. They ended up getting divorced later on when I was an adult. But this guy had an interest in that basically. And he didn't have any exotic animals
Mm.
when we moved in. He had an interest and then got them later.
How do you convince your mom to get into exotic animals, animal rearing?
Man, I don't know. Love's crazy. And my mom's a little crazy too. She was probably a little easy to give. She wasn't like an active drug addict like that. But he definitely was, and she like had been before. And I think, I don't know. I think if you've been through kind of as much as she had, so I understand and don't blame her for it, even though I think it was bad for me. But and
Sure.
whenever you've been through that much, and then you like, she met someone that she really thought was cool and got her and all that, and then it turned out part of the deal was he's like, let's try getting some exotic animals, and this was also, I was 9, so this was 2001, 2002, so it was kind of, I'm not saying people didn't know what monkeys were. Obviously, they did, but it
Yeah.
was a little different. It's a little different than like, I don't know. You didn't have the same like exposure to shit, and where it's like now I could just go and look up a video of a monkey in someone's house or whatever and see how awful it is. They you might have been able to do that back then. I don't know, but they didn't. And it was like, I don't know. It was a different time. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was the roaring aughts.
Did the animals live inside the house ever? Or was it like an outdoor kind of zoo area mostly, or where was the line?
Two different situations. So we had a makeshift zoo habitat type thing that was like, it's probably like 10 by 5, and I don't know how tall it was. It was like 7 feet tall or something, and it was like a cage that my stepdad had. But he was like a crystal meth Albert Einstein type of Nikola Tesla. He did all kinds of crazy shit. He built me like a multi guitar stand out of PVC pipe and shit. That was really cool. And but he built this monkey enclosure that was like, I don't know, 10 by 5 or 10 by 6, whatever I said. And then it went up about 6 feet, I guess. And it was like all like chain link fence, really, like
Mm.
double layered up. So he had made it out of that. And it was in this yard in the middle of nowhere in Louisiana, basically in the woods, or almost in the swamp, really. And
In the bayou.
in the bayou. And it was like in the middle of nowhere. And there were 2 monkeys that were out there that were a little bit bigger. And then we had 2 that lived mostly inside. And they didn't just roam free. They had cages. They were bird cages, large bird cages that were repurposed. They were large bird cages. And then they also had like leashes that were like bolted into the wall in certain places, like by the
Mm.
couch and stuff, and they could be on those and just hang out in the living room or whatever. So they never had like free reign of the house, at least not on purpose. It did
Mhm.
happen sometimes. You know.
Who is your favorite out of all the animals? Did you have a best friend animal?
Yeah, I had a cat named Thor.
That's not that exotic.
Yeah, nah, no, I never really took to the exotic animals. Really, you know. It was it. I had like this adversarial attitude with them. You know, we were competing for the limited attention that the adults in our lives had to offer, I guess. And I
Dang.
didn't realize that as a kid, but looking back on it, I think
Mhm.
that's where my resentment was coming from, because I did have like a vague anger towards them, and also because they made me weird and it made me not want to have people over and stuff. You know.
Yeah, I can see that. It makes you like antisocial, not by choice.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so I had like resentment towards them. So yeah, I had a cat named Thor. He was cool. He lived till like 11 years old. He's a big gray cat, and I had his ashes until like 3 years ago. I had them for a really long time, and I just buried them on a whim one day. I was like, I can't keep carrying around this cat for my childhood's ashes. I gotta. So I buried. I didn't just throw them in the trash though. I buried them out, in the woods. You know.
Had a nice little ceremony.
Yeah, I just kind of had a couple minutes to myself with it out in the woods. And I was like, okay, I'll put this behind me. This cat from my childhood who's in cat hell because he was a little bastard.
Oh yeah, was he a dick?
Yeah, dude. Speaking of the cats and the monkeys, this is an aside here.
Yeah, hit
The
me.
cat, if you have monkeys and cats in the same house, the monkeys will rip out the cat's whiskers and use them as dental floss. And they will do that.
What the fuck?
And the whiskers grow back, but they will do that like over and over.
No shit.
Jesus.
So just a fun fact.
Fuck monkeys, Jesus.
I'm surprised that the monkeys had that kind of dental hygiene.
Well,
You-
yeah, I don't know if they're aware of like I got to keep my teeth. It's probably they feel something in there. You know what I mean? It's not like
You think they're doing it as like a mode of like function and not just being dicks to the cats, ripping their shit out and sucking on it like fuck you, cat.
oh yeah, I don't think they think about how it affects the cat at all. I don't think they have any kind of you know any concept of that really. And that was another thing that was weird about them is it was like they were as smart. They were as smart as like a 1.5-year-old ish, maybe like a 2-year-old, but much smaller. They have thumbs on their feet, and
Hmm.
unlike a small child, they don't. Your approval doesn't really mean anything to them. That's what was weird about it, and
Oh.
another thing that made me uncomfortable was like even a dog. It's
Mhm.
like a dog is stupid, but your approval means a lot to it for some reason, and you can kind of
Wants your affection.
you can control it in that way. Whereas
Mhm.
the monkeys are not like that. They want your affection in a general sense, the
Like-
way that like a bipolar girlfriend might, but
Ayo.
they're not gonna be. You're not gonna get one over on them with that, like you can a dog. You're just not. They know you're not going anywhere. They and I don't know. It's crazy.
They wear diapers?
Yeah. Yeah. The inside ones did. The outside ones just kind of shat where they went,
Did they throw their shit?
No, that never happened, unfortunately. I wanted it to happen because, it's funny, but
Because it's funny, of course.
yeah, and also, yeah, because it turns me on, but it never happened. There was never any shit throwing. So,
Sorry, you got me.
no, you're good. Yeah, I feel kind of bad because I've like disclosed so much about it, and it's like I don't want to cut any of it out or anything. It just makes me feel a little bad because it's like, am I betraying my? I guess I don't want my mother to ever feel bad, like she did a bad job because she got monkeys or that type of thing. But I don't think my mother listens to a lot of random podcasts, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, I don't know if she'll be able to find us without you telling her, though it will probably show up on her top 10, so maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be top 10.
We're rising in the charts, so you never know.
If she does listen to this, we don't judge you at all. We love you, actually.
No, she's great.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's very interesting. And I haven't even examined the negative sides of this really internally at all. Like this is all just fascinating, more so in my opinion. But I'm sure there's the negatives. I mean, you talked about like the social aspects, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, speaking as a complete outsider, this is very interesting.
Yeah, I just it's I'm sure there's negatives and positives as there are to any different experiences, but I've always been a fan of monkeys. Like I said, like I've always wanted a monkey, but like it doesn't seem practical if you like really think about it. But as someone who like had a monkey, I'm like half jealous and half just intrigued, and like the negatives aren't even like that's like an afterthought for me. So your mom did a great job. My mom never got me a monkey. Like it's pretty rude in my opinion.
It doesn't sound like we should be too jealous.
I wouldn't recommend it. I could say that. I mean, you could.
Well, I resent my mom for not getting me a monkey. That's all. I'm saying it. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, mom.
You don't have to be jealous, really. I mean, it was the adults in my life's decision to do this. So you could do this for your children now. You could go and get a monkey and to maybe a few. We had 5. You could go and get.
Yeah, Robbie, go get some monkeys.
It's really not my decision. I have a wife that would
Yeah.
definitely tell me that I'm not allowed. There's certain things I'm as an adult just not allowed to do, and that's just fine. It is what it is. So I'm pretty sure I haven't even checked, but I'm pretty sure monkey is not allowed.
It might be worth asking. You never know.
I can ask. I don't know where I could procure a monkey. I guess now I got a monkey guy. You know where I can get a monkey?
No, and it's illegal now in a lot of
Oh.
places that it wasn't. It's illegal now in Louisiana, and it wasn't whenever they had them. It's
never mind.
and then I think also after Tiger King, more places like came to the attention of lawmakers and stuff, like just exotic animals in general. And I agree with that. I'm not like an advocate or anything or going to any events or protest, but in a general sense, I agree that people should not own them. I think it's bad for the people and it's bad for the animals, and I do feel that way. It's not like a dog or a cat. It's like the difference between something that's domesticated and something that's not. I don't know. It's pretty clear. It's monkeys shouldn't be in your house. They just my voice cracked. Monkeys shouldn't be in your house. They shouldn't be in your house. I don't know, and they don't want to be there. A dog wants to be in your house.
Well, I can tell you there are only 4 states currently that have no laws on keeping dangerous wild animals.
Okay, all right. See, I told you.
And those are
Florida. It's got to be Florida.
Alabama, Nevada, North Carolina, and Wisconsin. So anybody living in those states, please purchase some dangerous wild animals and send us your experience.
Wow. Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin. That's interesting. We should get a timeshare or something, Tad. Let's split a condo. What do you say? And we'll get
Monkey condo timeshare.
Yeah, maybe not a timeshare, but we'll split a condo and we'll keep our monkeys there, and every week we'll
visit.
switch. Yeah, back and forth.
You guys have some kind of interest in Wisconsin?
Well, yeah, now we do.
We're close.
It's fairly close. It's I don't know, like hour drive, not even. More. I don't know. It's not that far, and we can get exotic animals there apparently. So, yeah, now we have an interest.
I think there are other states where you can, but there's like restrictions.
Yeah, these are just the states with 0 laws regarding them.
Yeah,
that's the best kind of states.
Even Louisiana, whenever I was growing up, you had to have a certificate or a license, I guess you could call it. I don't know what they called it, but you had to have a thing. You had to be certified to own a monkey.
Certified monkey owner.
It was very easy to get. It was basically about paying them to get it, kind of thing. It's like getting like a hunting license.
Oh, you have money? Yeah, of course you can get a monkey. I didn't realize you had money. Yeah, just give me some of that money and I'll give you a paper that says you can have a monkey. I don't give a shit.
Fucking America.
I don't need to know about your record. Do you like meth? Of course you can have a monkey as long as you have money. What is the craziest shit you've ever seen? I'm sure you've seen something wild. You must have. I'm looking at your face right now. You've seen something. Let's hear it. Something happened.
I saw a guy get stabbed to death with a toothbrush outside of a movie theater once.
Jesus Christ. I never saw anything that crazy.
Jordan, never mind. Dingo, talk to me.
Yeah, it was outside of the premiere or the first evening that the Jackass movie was being shown. The guy got stabbed to death with a sharpened toothbrush
Great movie.
about 12 feet away from me outside afterwards.
Like a shiv, like a shank, like a jailhouse shank.
Like a shiv, and it's like we weren't even in prison. I don't know why this guy had a fucking toothbrush. Like you're on the outside. You can get a knife. Just get a knife or a fork or a spoon, like any utensil. But this guy had a
Yeah.
fucking toothbrush that he dragged on the ground to form a point. And the movie was good.
It's a great movie. It was the first Jackass movie?
The first Jackass movie, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a great movie. But that is
Yeah.
not. I don't know. Maybe he thought he was trying to do Jackass and he just didn't get it. You know how some people like
No, allegedly, we found out after it was gang related.
gang related.
I like to think that he just went a little too far with the prank. I jackassed you.
Yeah, you should have stuck with like a shopping cart trick.
You tell a joke and someone really doesn't get it. I feel like he saw Jackass and for whatever reason he had some kind of wires. He just didn't get it, and he's like, "Oh, I want to do that. I'm gonna go stab somebody with a toothbrush."
Get it, guys? Did you get it?
Or he was just like really pissed that he didn't like the movie. He was like, that fucking sucked. Like, someone's gonna get it.
So, guys, this is Homeless Freak, and this is called stabbing people. He might not have been homeless. I don't know. I made that part up, but to me,
Yeah, that guy died.
the guy he stabbed,
Or the guy that stabbed the guy?
No, the guy that got stabbed died.
the guy he stabbed died.
Anyway, monkeys.
The monkeys died?
I don't know what happened with the monkeys. They eventually, my stepdad that I had grown up with, that like raised them. My parents, my mom and my stepdad got divorced when I was like 20, so like 10 years ago, 11 years ago, and then he died a few years after that, just alone in that
Oh, man.
house. And he was like, he
died
had
in the
asthma,
monkey
and he
house?
was like, yeah, he lived there alone with all the monkeys. He was like in his mid-50s, and he had asthma. I guess he would have had to have been older than that because my mom was 40, so he would have had to have been about 60, maybe 59.
Do monkeys eat the bodies like cats do?
No, they
No.
I'll get to that. So
Oh yeah.
I'll get to
excited
that.
now.
I'll it's not that. It's actually
Yeah, I should have said excited. That feels weird. I'm not excited. Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah, eat that fucking corpse.
what happens actually like common sense if you think about it, because it's not a dog. But anyway, okay, I'll get to it. So he was found dead in that house like a couple days. It seemed like he had been dead for like a day or two. He was 59 or 60. He had asthma for a long time, and he had been in a chemical plant accident and exposed to mustard gas. So he had breathing problems for like 20 years. Because there's chemical plants and like plastic production and oil byproducts in general are very, very big in the Baton Rouge, Louisiana area. And that's where everyone works. And so he was a part of that, and he had been exposed to mustard gas in an accident, and it had affected his breathing for the rest of his life. And so he had always had breathing problems, and he slept with a machine, and it was like a CPAP on steroids. It was like this big fucking barrel of a CPAP thing, because I've seen CPAPs. It wasn't that. I don't know exactly what it was. It was some kind of breathing machine he slept with. And so in any case, he was found dead, and they speculate that it was like a breathing problem. Maybe he had COVID. I don't know, because it was around that time, you know. It's no one's really sure, and it could have been the drugs combined with his exposure to, I don't know, or my mom hired to have him killed and never told me about it, which is also possible.
It happens.
I
But
like that theory.
yeah, I don't think she would do that, but you never know. Anyway, she calls me and tells me, oh, your stepdad's been found dead, yada yada. And then of course my first question is, oh, well, what's going on with the monkeys? And she said they were found in there. They're going to be taken and distributed to habitats and zoos across the country. So those monkeys could be in a zoo or a safari type thing that you go to. I wouldn't know. I didn't look into where they went.
Or on Friends.
They might be at the Denver Zoo now, right by me. I have no idea. they might have gone to the local zoos there, Baton Rouge and New Orleans Zoo. I didn't look into it. I really didn't want to know. But in terms of like how his body was found and what they were eating and stuff, think about like a cat might eat someone's body, and in some cases dogs do too, even though you're not allowed to say that because people want to pretend dogs don't, but they do. Imagine if those animals had, hands. What would they be doing?
Oh no.
Honestly, I'm dead. They can fuck my body. I don't care.
You think they're Oh, you guys are thinking about they're playing with your balls and jerking you off.
I don't care. They can drill. They can drill
wasn't.
holes in my corpse and fuck that. I don't care. I'm dead.
Putting their little monkey. I agree with you on that. Putting their little monkey hands in your dead butt. No, they're not doing that. They're going. They just go.
Go for it. Have fun, man. Have a ball.
They just go into the kitchen and start eating things like a cat or a dog can't do. They just open the fridge.
Oh, that's way better.
Yeah, they just get it. So the kitchen was completely.
No, get back here and fuck my corpse.
So the kitchen was completely wrecked, but his body was left alone by the monkeys. They just went and ate all the food in the house, because a cat can't really do that, can't really get to what you leave closed. So that's that story.
I knew a guy who died, and his two dogs ate
His ass.
most of his body by the time they found him.
Thank you, dude. Okay, I'm not. That's bad, but
It was sad story.
You got really excited about it, though.
it is bad. But it's just
Yeah, thank you. See, dogs eat people.
because I had an argument recently with a friend of mine. He was like, "Oh, your cats are," because I have cats, and they're like, "Oh, your cats are gonna eat you when you die." And it's like, I fucking promise you.
Does my dog not find me attractive? Why is he only eating me?
I promise your fucking dog will eat you when you die, dude. I don't know why people act like that's not a thing. Of
You
course
promise?
they will. It's a fucking stupid animal. Yes, they're not gonna starve to death. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not going to starve to death.
Makes me feel so much better.
It's an old wives' tale, dude. They're not gonna starve to death. They're gonna eat you. I don't know.
They're not going to let that meat go bad either.
I wouldn't either.
Oh, I got so much meat. Just
What?
feast, man.
What's that story? It's Argentinian.
The soccer
You
team.
know what I'm talking about? Yes.
Yeah.
You think a dog would eat my cock?
Yeah,
They're gonna eat that first. Yeah, man.
I think they start with the fingers, and then
I would start with the cock if it makes you feel any better, dude. I'm sure you have a delicious, juicy cock.
Well, I heard it's a foot.
What? No, I meant a macaque, the monkey. What are you talking about?
You heard your cock is a foot? My cock is a penis.
Mine's like 1.5 feet.
your poor wife.
Do you walk on it? I don't get it. I don't know.
It's like a baby's arm holding an apple.
But I feel like, that's pretty much the monkey story from the beginning to end. So I hope it was interesting. I feel like it might have been like a little boring in there at some parts, but
I disagree.
That's why we have post.
I'm not done with you.
and my memory is a little blurry on it too because I moved out. I moved out pretty young, so because I wanted to get away from that, and I'm like 30 now, so 31. So it's all I don't remember it that well, And I got into getting fucked up really young too, and I was always leaving. Like I said earlier, I was staying at people's houses and stuff. So, but I mean, I do remember enough of it. I think.
Expand on getting fucked up. What do you mean?
Yeah, just like drinking and shit, really young.
Were your mother and your stepfather or your parents at all, were they doing these things around you? I know you said they were involved in drugs,
No,
maybe drinking.
they were, but they were like very secretive about it. They were like very like Christian type of thing, and they tried to hide that, and they did. And if I had been like a less attentive,
So you had no idea it was really going on?
yeah, really until I was like 17 or 18, and then I started to be like, oh, I get it.
So were you kind of using that as an escape beforehand without really knowing that that's what they were doing as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I had kind of gotten into like getting fucked up on my own pretty young without the involvement, without realizing that's like what they were into as well, And then you get older and then you hear about like how this predilection for being fascinated with being fucked up all the time is like hereditary. And I was like, oh, okay. Even though one of those people was not my real parent, but there's a reason that my real dad hasn't been a part of the story so far, and it's also because he liked to get fucked up, you know. So it's all.
Yeah, I noticed he was absent thus far. He was not in the picture, I assume.
No, not really. He would pop in from time to time. He was like, we were all like cordial type of thing.
Was he involved in this animal shenanigans at all?
No, no. And I think that
What did he think about that?
he thought it was fucking stupid as shit, and I think that's why he like kept a distance.
He's an idiot. That's fucking awesome.
It's awesome.
I think he thought it was stupid as shit, and he had other kids, and so he chose to focus more on them, I think. And I think part of that.
Did he have other kids before you, or it was him?
No, I'm the oldest.
You were the oldest, okay.
Yeah, and I'm the only boy. But I'm the only man, sorry. But I think, he whenever I was younger, I resented him for spending less of a focus on me as opposed to his other kids. He was like a Rolling Stone kind of guy. But then as I've gotten older, I look back and I'm like, oh, he was like an idiot that he grew past. Whenever he had me, he was basically like a fuck up bad person. And then he kind of grew past that. And he wanted to be there for his other kids. And then when he tried to be around for me, he encountered like my weird schizo meth stepdad and a bunch of monkeys. And I think that kind of like, was a buffer
to reigniting that relationship a little.
So there was always that wall there between you two.
For sure.
You couldn't.
But now that I'm a little bit older, we're fine, I guess. We're cool. Whenever I flew back recently, I hung out with him for like a day or two.
That's good.
And it was cool.
Things always get better when you're older. Not always. Sometimes.
He's still in the Louisiana area?
Yeah. Nobody leaves Louisiana. It's a hell. It's a pit.
You did.
I mean, I left it, but I'll probably be back. I'll probably go back.
What's it like living in Louisiana? I've heard just statistically not great things.
Yeah, it's a bad place to go to public school. It's a bad place to be I don't know how statistical you want to get, but
let's hear it. What do you know? I just want to hear firsthand experience. So you just tell me what you know.
Pop off, Queen.
I'd rather not just hear statistics. I want to know what's actually going on.
Yeah, get on the ground. See what's going on.
You're probably it is a dangerous place, but the crime, there's a lot of crime, but the crime statistics are mostly like insular within it's gang related stuff. There's not a lot of innocent bystander shit. It's kind of like how people say Chicago is like a murderous hellhole, but it's like
just the South Side, really.
It's like people who are in like some kind of war with each other. It's not really,
What are the Louisiana gangs like?
I
didn't even know they had gangs in Louisiana.
Yeah, it's Baton Rouge is extremely violent. It's a very violent city. It's like one of the highest murder rates in the country after New Orleans, which is worse.
I always just assumed they had like jazz battles.
Jazz battles, yeah, that's exactly what I was picturing. Jazz battles, mostly.
No, motherfucker! I said I got the best beignets.
No. But it's not like. But it's whenever you live there, it doesn't it doesn't feel like that whenever you live there. But it is like I don't know if you're familiar with like popular rappers now, or I guess he's not even popular anymore.
Kanye
but,
West.
NBA Youngboy is. He was like a pop rapper that was popular like 4 or 5 years ago. I feel like. And maybe he's still popular now. I don't know.
I don't know.
But he was from Baton Rouge, and he was connected to all these murders and shit. And Lil Boozy is also a Baton Rouge rapper. Kanye is not from Baton Rouge. I don't think.
He's not.
But
he's from Chicago.
No, but I get it, man.
Kevin Gates. But it's yeah, I mean it's a pretty high per capita. I think there were more. For example, like I just moved to Denver. Denver has 4 or 5 times as many people. There were less murders in Denver last year total than in Baton Rouge, but not even per capita. So it is parts of it are like a dangerous kind of rundown town with like a lot of gang type stuff. But when you live there and you're just going about your business, you're not really, I don't know. It's people fucking with each other kind of the same way that like Chicago is, where it's like a lot of people are getting killed, but it's people that are involved in that. It's not like you're going to get shot going to the store. It's just probably not going to happen. You know?
Is it also like fun though, like Florida? Like Florida is just like a bunch of people, like they're not lawless per se, but they don't really care and they just do whatever they feel like. Is it kind of like that? Everyone just having a good time doing what they want?
Yeah, laissez-faire is the term.
Laissez-faire.
Florida is fucking horrible. Don't say it's fun. Let's go to Daytona and get a tattoo on top of my sunburn. Ugh, because I passed out from being drunk at 2 p.m.
Not that. Well, it is fun. I'm not gonna say that certain parts of Florida aren't fun. There's good parts of Florida, but I'm saying like the laissez-faire attitude is.
It's a laissez-faire attitude. It's very much a very much like a day drinking thing. Very much
Yep.
and a lot of like drinking outdoors too. I haven't really seen up here. Like people aren't generally walking down the street drinking here.
Yeah.
It's like weird if you see that, which I do see it sometimes. See someone with like a Modelo or whatever, like a can, like a tall boy, like walking down the street. It's like weird here. Whereas there, it's normal.
Yeah, was that legal there? Because I
Yeah.
went to Savannah, Georgia. It's legal to open carry alcohol, just walk around drinking in public, and that's usually not legal in most places.
Yeah, I learned that recently. Yeah, it's legal. It's legal, and the places in Louisiana where it's not legal, people act like it is anyway. It's not enforced. It's not a thing. You might you'll get in trouble. I have gotten stopped even in New Orleans whenever I was like 15. I've had a cop stop me and ask me to pour a drink out, but I didn't actually get in any real trouble. They just were like, "You look like a child. You can't have that."
Fair.
And I had to pour, and I was like, okay, and I had to pour it out, but it was like that kind of thing.
You still look like a child a little bit, kind of. You're a young-looking fella.
I know, yeah, I get that a lot
Yeah.
actually.
That's good.
I get that a lot actually. It's been coming up on a lot of my Tinder dates. I mean, we didn't even get into that. So if I ever come on here again, I can get into my love life a little bit because I think that would be fun too, actually. But
I would love to get into some Tinder dates with you.
Yeah, let's go on a date.
you just reminded me of that because it's been commented on by them how young I look. By like I'm trying to date other 30-year-olds, and they're like, "You look 19." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but I'm not,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to not date 19-year-olds." So
Well, everybody comment down below if you want to get into Jordan's dating history here. Is that what we're supposed to say? Comment down below, subscribe, all that shit.
Yes, the votes are coming in. It looks like 73% of our listeners want to hear about the craziest date Jordan most recently went on. Jordan, please.
type in "my dick is small" 69 in the comments.
How did you know my password?
The craziest date I've been on recently, I would have to think about that a little bit before because there's been like a lot of things, and some of the situations that I've gotten myself into recently are more like stories where it's like I see the person multiple times, and then there's like a build up to where it becomes, oh, this person's insane, and I might die kind of thing. But I don't know. I would have to think about it and plan that out a little bit more. I don't want to.
It's kind of hot, though.
Do you like how deep do you get into conversations in your dates? So do you like bring up your childhood and do you talk about the monkeys ever?
No, maybe I should. It might be
No.
it might be like a draw. I don't know. No.
You 100% should. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
You absolutely should.
Yeah,
I would make that your first profile picture of you with all your monkeys.
it might be a draw. Make me a little more interesting, I guess. No, but I haven't. On my.
I'm going to completely take your story now. I'm going to tell people I had the monkeys.
I should. A couple of times I've brought it up, and people just don't believe you. I'm surprised that you guys believe me, and I could probably like dig up like an old photo or something, but
We'll believe anything.
We're gullible as fuck. We don't care.
Oh yeah.
But like, yeah, I haven't shown any kind of evidence or anything really. I could just be making all this up, but it's. I could probably find an old photo though, or like have my mom send me one or something.
Yeah,
But
send a photo. We'll post. We'll make it the album artwork for this.
Yeah, we're gonna need that photo for this episode.
I'll try and find one.
Perfect.
I'll try and find one. Yeah.
That would be perfect, actually.
But yeah, the times where I have brought it up, people don't believe me. They think I'm like joking because up until that point, I had been like joking a lot, and I would tend to do it, I guess, in like a kind of a deadpan way, and so they would think,
Do you play too hard sometimes?
yeah, I'd be playing too hard, dog. You know.
I play too hard. I do this thing where I just people don't know I play too hard. So one example, just like another aside. When we were getting our COVID shots, like very COVID's like popping off. They just the vaccine just dropped. Everyone's getting their shots, and me and my wife go together, and the nurse like sticks the needle in me. I don't feel it, but I go and she's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" She was like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm fine. Sorry. I just like I play too hard sometimes, and people don't see it coming, and I don't realize that I shouldn't be playing in certain situations like that."
When we got the COVID shots, my wife and I had appointments next to each other, and she asked the nurse if she could get the one without the Bill Gates, whatever it was, microchips in. And like,
Smart.
I just, I fell in love with her all over again right there. It was so good.
I mean, I don't want that one. If you could choose.
She was just like, yeah, can you just, can I have the one without the Bill Gates microchip? Just a regular COVID shot. And the girl administering it was like, I don't think we have that.
I trust a Bill Gates microchip over an Elon Musk microchip any day, though.
That's true.
It was great.
Ugh, the medical professionals probably fucking hated everyone.
I hate everyone.
Like, if I have to hear one more goddamn joke about this fucking shit.
Medical professionals had a rough time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
That's why a lot of them quit after that. They were like, fuck this.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, well, not all of them. I'm sure if you're like a urologist, you're probably cool during COVID. But
Yeah, probably.
a urologist or like a proctologist,
Proctologist cleaned up.
gynecologist, all the ologists, they're probably fine. Because all the guys that are, you guys been to a urologist? You guys are old men. You've been to a urologist, right?
Oh, fuck you.
I have not.
Yeah, I was just thinking about
Okay.
this. I got to start scheduling a colonoscopy.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Why not?
No, you do not.
What if I want one?
You want one?
I just want someone rooting around in there.
That's cool. Get in there.
I give myself a colonoscopy every week.
Do you want someone rooting around in there?
Yeah, why won't anyone root around in there?
Someone will. You could find someone to root around in there for much cheaper than a proctologist if that's all you're looking for.
That brings us right back to Tinder.
Yeah.
Also, like, what's the right age? They say it keeps getting younger and younger. I think 35 is where we should start now.
I don't know what's. Oh, for that. Okay. I thought you meant to get someone to poke in your ass. It's like, I don't know. It depends on what state you're in. I think in most states it's 18. At some, I have 17.
I'll be 44 this year, and my doctor hasn't said anything about it. So
Do you want us to do it?
I also haven't seen him for
He's-
2 years, so I don't know.
He's playing coy.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm overdue.
I think they say 45 these days.
I think it's
but
45 for men.
also Black Panther died at 38 from this. So
Who? Oh, Black Panther?
Malcolm X?
yeah, dude. IRL Black Panther. Wasn't he? I think he was. Yeah.
Was it colon cancer?
Yeah. Malcolm X died.
Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman of colon cancer.
Chadwick Boseman, yeah.
Yeah. I think he was 38. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm pulling that number out of my ass. But like that's before the recommended age, I think. I think I should start at 35.
I always thought it was 40.
To each their own.
Someone needs to root around in there.
I want it to be a lady.
You want it to be a lady. You're asleep though, so what's the difference?
I want it to be a man because I want to make all the jokes.
Yeah.
I want it to be a human. I just don't want it to be a monkey.
Yeah. I want it to be a monkey poking around in there.
I mean, monkeys would just their little tiny little hands. Their little macaque hands.
Macaque can really root around in there.
Get in there.
I mean, you get a macaque in your ass, it's something's gonna happen.
You get macaque in your ass.
Oh man.
Oh, what do you got there? A little cat.
Oh, we got a cat
Yeah, look at
entering the
that.
scene.
What
Hello. Is your cat available for questions right now?
Yeah, maybe. Hey, Louie, come here. This is Louie.
Hey, Louie. So, Louie, does Jordan ever speak nostalgically about his monkeys? And does that ever bother you, get you jealous at all?
Does he ever pull your whiskers out and floss his teeth? No.
You guys look alike.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I guess thanks. I don't know. All right, you can go play. Yeah, cool cat. Her name's Louie because I got her the animal shelter. It was like 9 years ago. And said that she was a boy, so I named her
Oh.
Louie.
Pretty old
And
cat.
then so she swallowed a Nerf dart. She swallowed a Nerf dart, and the styrofoam part melts away, right? But the suction cup part does not, and so it was like clogging up her insides and had to be removed. She was dying. She was like on my floor dying and like vomiting weird fluids for hours, and I was like, oh, this is a problem. So I took her to an emergency overnight vet thing, and the emergency overnight vet cut her open. He's like, I don't know what's wrong. We can do exploratory surgery to try and prevent your cat from dying.
Root around in there.
Yeah, we don't know what's wrong, but there might be a blockage, and we can go and look for it. And I was like, yeah, of course. And so they did. They found a little Nerf dart suction cup because we used to play fetch with a Nerf dart. She'd shoot it and she'd go and get it, and I guess she ate one. And so now they're banned. But in any case, the guy came back. He was like, yeah, there's this little suction cup thing in there. I don't know what this is from. And I was like, oh, I know what that's from. And I started like crying. And then he's like, oh, by the way, Louie is a girl. And I was like, what? How do you know? And he's like, I was in there. That's a girl. And I was like, oh, okay. It's like,
I was in there.
yeah, I was in there. That's a girl.
Was rooting around in there. Found some ovaries.
So yeah, that's how I just kept the name because, yeah, she's cool. Lucky to be alive.
What did that surgery cost you?
Like 1,800.
Huh, that's not bad.
But I had nationwide pet insurance through.
There you go.
I was working at EA Games, and so I got reimbursed for half of that. So
Well, how about
not
that?
too bad.
EA Games.
Yeah, I don't have pet insurance, but my vet was very adamant that I should get it. And I was like, oh, okay.
I've never had pet insurance. I've never needed it either.
That's good.
I don't now.
I mean, maybe my first dog. I mean, his spleen turned upside down, and they were like, "Yeah, it's going to cost you like 10 grand," and he's 11, so he's
turned upside down.
Yeah, like he's probably going to die during surgery anyway. And I was like,
10 grand.
Yeah.
Oh, dog's dead. Sorry.
Yeah, it was tough.
I didn't know spleens could just do that.
Yeah, flipped upside down. They did like the MRI, and they were like, "Yeah, his spleen is upside down. It's all twisted." It's like, all right, well, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, my dog, they were like, we can do another surgery on her uterus to try and save her life, or we could spend $300 and put her down. And I was like, well, bye.
No, that's wild.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah. It was sad.
This is starting to bum me out. Guys, I think I got to cut this off before I start just crying. I don't want to hear about any more dead animals.
It's a circle of life, Robbie.
And it is sad. It's just the way that the dead animals have been presented has been very funny to me. But it is the subject. The content is sad, but the way that the dead animals have been presented was pretty funny to me.
I hope so, because I don't think this is how we're going to keep our listeners. Like, so anyways, my dog died this way. How did your dog die? Like, no one wants to hear this shit.
Well, Louie's gonna die pretty soon. She's a 9-year-old cat, and I know that, and it is gonna be sad, and it's gonna suck, and I'm gonna cry, but it'll be okay.
Did you say he?
Did I? Oh my god, she's gonna die.
Did you just misgender your cat?
Don't misgender your cat.
We're all gonna die. It's fucking whatever.
Oh, that's what we can end on. Let's talk. Yeah, let's do trans controversy here. So,
real quick, trans controversy.
yeah,
30 seconds.
Real quick,
go.
Real quick, let's break down the trans issues here. So,
Jordan, I really appreciate you coming out. This was a great conversation. I love the monkey talk. I wish I had a monkey. I still stand by that. I still wish I had a monkey.
I want to have Jordan back. It's a lot of fun.
Will you come back?
Yeah, sure. I had fun.
I got to hear about your dating life. We didn't touch enough on that. So
Can you say it again enthusiastically so we can cut that in? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, I'd love to come back. I had fun. It was cool. It was a great way to spend the night, really. Yeah.
right, just hanging out, drinking, and learning about your friends.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun.
I had a great time. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Had a great time. Need you to come back. Need to hear about your dating life. Need to hear anything else that you want to talk to us about. We want to hear it. So appreciate it. Thank you.
And we're going to end on a song from Jordan himself. Let's cut it out.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention Jordan promised us, it hasn't happened yet, but you're gonna record us a song for this episode and we're gonna debut it here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He sounds very unsure about this.
We can cut this out. Don't worry. I'm putting you on the spot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I
will
believe
do
in
that.
him.
Yeah, I'll do that. No, I will. I'll do that. I just
What about that other one you sent us? It was so good.
I was thinking about, proctology, I think. Yeah. I could do something like that.
Oh, that was really good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. If we do end up having this this song, to all our audience out there, I hope you really enjoy this original song by our very own Jordan Exotic. And here it is.